feel like. It's supposed to.
It feels more like June, maybe late May, but we are going to start to see some cooler conditions here in the near future, Jenny. Now, it might not be as cool as people want it, but it is going to be at least a bit of slight relief out there. So we're sitting only at 81 right now at Camp Mabry and 79 over at the airport this morning. 45 degrees, or 45% rather, for that humidity. Dew points in the 50s across the area, so it does feel pretty nice and dry outside. And of course, you can see those blue skies. It's going to be another lovely day across Austin. Now we have 80 degrees out towards the east and mostly the 70s as we head out towards the west. 76 degrees in Fredericksburg right now, and very calm winds as we continue through the day today and head towards midday. Now we are expecting another warm and above average day of temperatures, likely getting up to about 90 or 91 degrees by this afternoon. We've got more comfortable temperatures and blue sky in the forecast. But yes, we'll go over that slight dip in temperatures that we're expecting this weekend, Jenny, coming up in just a little while.
All right, Grace, thank you so much.
Tuesday here, taking a look across the map, we are seeing some pretty nice temperatures to start off the day as we head through the middle of the day. Of course, we are going to see those temperatures start to rise, but for right now, we're seeing the 70s out towards the hill country. Kingsland sitting at 79 degrees, 78 for Fredericksburg, 80 degrees at LBJ Ranch, and 81 here closer to Austin, 80 down towards San Marcos, and looking across the east side, LaGrange sitting at 79 as well. Lockhart also at 79. Lots of 70s and 80s in the forecast for at least the moment, but we are going to move those temperatures upward as we head into this afternoon, probably getting to about 90 or 92 degrees there. Nice look out towards Lake Austin. Some boaters out there. I did even see some skiers too, so a great day to get out on the boat. We're going to have very calm, nice conditions through the next several days, so if you like the weather from today or even yesterday, you're going to like the rest of this week. Wind speeds are calm for the moment, and as we head over or into the afternoon today, about 88, again about 90 to 91 degrees for that high temperature today, and then overnight tonight into our Wednesday morning tomorrow, I do think we'll dip down to the 50s for those hill country areas and likely the mid 60s for the I-35 corridor. Now, high temperatures over the next several days are going to be maintained above average. You can see our average high for this time of year. It's actually 83 degrees, so we're quite above average, but I do think these lower 90s are a nice break from such a hot September and start to October that we had. Now, over the next 10 days, we are tracking potentially two cold fronts. One of them not expected to bring our temperatures down too much. You'll see Sunday into Monday of next week, we get down to those upper 80s, and then eventually we'll see the mid and maybe even lower 80s as we shift it towards the 24th. We are watching that date, the 24th of October, for potentially a more significant cold front, because our cold front moving through Saturday into Sunday, while it will bring in some minor rain chances, it's not expected to be widespread or helpful for our drought situation. So we've paused over at the 23rd, October 23rd into the 24th. This is a much better chance for rain and also more confidence in that chance for rain. As you can see, our American and European model both are in agreement of those rain chances. So we'll be fine-tuning that forecast as we head into the end of the month here. But as for that 7-day forecast, very nice conditions for the rest of the work week here. And then as we head towards F1 this weekend, minor chances for rain with that cold front coming through. And again, temperatures aren't expected to be affected too much by this.
Okay. Americans across the East Coast are dealing with the nor'easter, which has now turned deadly. A woman in New York was killed after heavy winds blew a solar panel off a carport. Water has flooded the streets of Maryland and the Jersey Shore. Across the coast, people in Los Angeles are bracing for heavy rain and possible mudslides in areas still recovering from the January wildfires. All right, 11:31 is your time. Let's turn our focus to here in Austin. You know, hearing stories like that, I'm grateful for our boring weather, Grace.
Yeah, we are kind of the only ones, Jenny, who have this boring, very consistent, sunny, dry conditions. Yeah, so looking across the map for this afternoon, yeah, still dealing with that low pressure system moving over the Great Plains here. We also have another low kind of sandwiched between the West Coast and the Rockies here. That is what is bringing that major rainfall to areas like California California, and of course what brought the previous rainfall to areas like Arizona as well as New Mexico. Now we've got some weather moving up towards Minneapolis and the Great Lakes, but yeah, high pressure is still intact over the south and east, so that's going to keep things very nice and dry here at home for the next several days. Now that cold front that you saw out towards the west eventually will make its way into our area, but not going to affect us too much, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. So right now for your day, we're starting things off at 79 and 81 degrees across town. As we head into this afternoon, don't be expecting major heat for today, but of course our temperatures are still going to be trending quite above average. Our average this time of year is 83 degrees. We're likely to get to about 88 to even up to 92 degrees this afternoon. As we move overnight and into tomorrow morning, of course, we are going to see another fall-like morning here. 50s for the Hill Country and mid-60s for Austin for your Wednesday morning commute. We do have more fall-like temperatures in the forecast. Jenny, we'll get to those in just a few minutes.
We'll see you then. Grace Thornton, thank you for that.
Week, Jenny, here's a look at temperatures across the state of Texas, though, because depending on where you are, it may change up a little bit. So we're at 81 here in Austin, but if you look up towards the Texas Panhandle, Amarillo is sitting at 66 degrees right now. They still have some sunshine left, but there is a low pressure system starting to make its way from the west coast over towards the central plains today. And of course, that's cooling things down pretty significantly for a few places. Billings sitting at 36 degrees right now. Even San Francisco to Los Angeles sitting at 54 and 57 degrees at the moment. And then as you head over towards the south and east, that's where those warm temperatures are going to stay. And that high pressure is going to continue to bring very fair weather for us. Now, yeah, we're kind of the only ones dealing with that fair weather. We've got low pressure working its way into the west coast through the middle of the country. And of course, that nor'easter is starting to lift its way up to the north and east even further as we head into the rest of the work week here. So hopefully, the issues with the storm over towards the east coast with all that flooding and stuff, that will start to lessen as the week goes on. Allergy count for today, we're noticing high for the ragweed today. Mold also high, and starting to see some fall elm on the map. Now, fall elm is expected to peak a little bit later in the month of October, and ragweed is expected to kind of peak throughout the month of October. So be watching out for that. And yeah, let's not pay attention to cedar just yet. Across the state of Texas, we are lowering our air quality just a touch today, especially for areas like Dallas and Houston who have an ozone action day in place today because of those high levels of ozone. So it's possible we could also see that here in Austin. As for the rest of the day, we're going to be starting those temperatures here right now. 79 at the airport, 81 over at Camp Mabry. We'll start to build on those temperatures, and we also may see some higher wind gusts as we head through the afternoon, gusting now to about 15 to almost 20 miles per hour out there, and peaking at 91 degrees for that high temperature here in Austin. A little bit warmer as you head over towards the east and then out towards the Hill Country, expecting the upper 80s for those high temperatures today. Now we're going to see very similar conditions through the rest of the work week here. Lower 90s for those high temperatures, and in the mornings we can expect probably mid-60s for most of us, and out there towards the Hill Country we can expect the 50s. And our high temperatures are going to be very consistent through the end of the work week. And then as we head into our Sunday, this is our first cold front that we're watching for the end of October, down to about 91, potentially down to the upper 80s for next week, and then another cold front in the future there for further into October, around the 23rd or 24th of this month. So the next 7 days we are dealing with very nice temperatures and conditions. I think things are going to be quite nice for those visiting for F1 this weekend.
All right, Grace.